Lafayette Open, the 2013 edition. We're here in the final match between J.R. Raymond and T.J. Schmidt. Joining me once again for the final match is Doug Weedman. And Doug, it's just a matter of survival right now, right?
Yeah, the lanes, nobody's had a really good look the last couple, but I think it's fitting that we have two outstanding collegiate champions bowling against each other.
And J.R. Raymond starts out with a Brooklyn crossover strike. And before we go any farther, I want to thank the sponsors of the Ebonite Lafayette Open, Ebonite, SavageBowling.com, Savage Bowling Pro Shops, Tower Corners, Citgo, Awards Unlimited, Dexter Shoes, Anderson Furniture Gallery, Wings, etc., C-Squared Flooring, and McCarty Motors. Both of these bowlers looking for their first Lafayette Open title. TJ on the right lane.
Made a ball change.
Oh, and he comes in light mixer and gets a strike. We're all square.
Yeah, they didn't. Neither player looked like they had a great look in practice, but TJ made a ball change. See if that pays off for him. You know, I mentioned they're both outstanding collegiate champions, and college bowling has become the real proving ground, developing young talent. Even here in Indiana, we have middle school bowling, over 190 schools participating in high school bowling, which I coached high school bowling as well. And the next step onto collegiate bowling is so critical now.
TJ throwing two different balls, one on the left lane, one on the right. He comes in light mixer again with the strike, and great way to start with a double here right out of the gate.
Well, yeah, because the scores were so low in the previous round, relatively speaking, that you really can't expect really big numbers on this difficult lane condition. To start with a double when you don't expect lane high scores really puts a little bit of a squeeze on the opponent, especially when he doesn't have a look in practice.
Oh, J.R. Raymond comes right back on the right lane, and we're all square. This is something we didn't see in the semifinal round. Bunch of strikes, but both players with the front two right out of the gate.
We're also bowling on a fresher pair.
Yes, good point.
We moved to a fresher pair, so we're going to get lane or ball reaction much similar to what we did in the round of 8 compared to the round of 4. And if you don't have that burn spot and you have that energy retention, you're going to get better back end carry.
J.R. Raymond right back on the left lane. He throws the front three, and we're off and running.
Yeah, when you get players of this quality, when they both have a look, as Bo Burton used to say, it's Katie bar the door. There's a chance of some really big numbers if you're on a shot that isn't burning up and changing really quick. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens if we go to a second or a third game.
All right, T.J. Schmidt stepping up on the right lane. He's looking to tie the matchup with J.R. Raymond. Both players front two, J.R. with the front three. T.J. looking to get the one in the third here on the right lane. Oh, and he goes crossover. So all three bowlers now are even. Both of them getting a Brooklyn break there in this string.
You can tell how TJ stepped out of that. He knew that was not a solid shot. And if you don't get your body moving with your swing in the right direction, not exactly sure where the ball's going to go, but he got away with it that time.
Real quick before TJ steps up here on the left lane, I want to send another big thank you out to Scott Savage, not only a longtime friend, but owner of SavageBowling.com and Savage Bowling Pro Shops. He very instrumental in the success of this event, so I want to thank him as well. And here's TJ Schmidt stepping up on the left lane with the front three, looking for the front four.
Whoops.
Looks like he missed out a little bit, leaving the 1, 2, 4.
Yeah, that one he just sort of he pitched it out there, missed the release a little bit, and it just never really made the corner. Going back to Scott Savage, I've out of respect for my knowledge of the game, Scott was nice enough to ask me to come on board to be his assistant coach all the way back in 2004. We've had a great working relationship most of these last 10 years, so great privilege to work with college bowlers, all through these years, and obviously players like T.J. Schmidt, to watch them come up through the game and really reach the pinnacle of collegiate bowling. Um, it's a great thing to say. It's a great thing to work with.
Well, quite a few Purdue bowlers made the top 32, and Chris Saforth, obviously, T.J. Schmidt, Ryan Schlosser.
Joel
Man,
Kloss, Matt Bilyeu.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of them right there.
Wow, good pitch though.
Leaving the stubborn 4-pin is J.R. Raymond on the right lane. So J.R. with a spare here, Doug, he'll have a 2-pin lead after 4 frames.
The important thing is that he made a really good shot. And, we're talking about 4 good shots in a row, whereas TJ let that one sort of get away from him a little bit. So we'll have to see how TJ responds after a less than quality shot.
I tell you, we were talking earlier a little bit about the bowling center here, but and hosting this event 16 straight years, and got me thinking a little bit the transition that this center has gone through in the last 16 years. Now with Dave Small owning it the last 3 or 4 years, he's made this concourse much wider. He's done a lot of nice things. It seems to have gone over real well with the bowlers. So,
right. And it's not an easy thing to do. Oh, good carry there. I say it's not an easy thing to do because Star Lanes is now 63 years old. And it's really hard to, when you have an older facility, to really constantly reinvent the center and keep it up to the times. And it takes a substantial investment and a real commitment on the ownership as well as the bowlers to keep on supporting a bowling center, to keep it up to date. Even though the surroundings it's got a long history in the Lafayette area.
Well, here's T.J. Schmidt stepping up on the right lane in the 5th frame. Down 2.
Good pitch. Not quite.
Comes in light and leaves the 2-5. He's going to trail by 4 with a spare conversion here in the 5th frame.
That's 2 frames in a row now where he's just not quite getting the back end reaction that he expects. So he may be missing it at the bottom a little bit. He may actually be getting a little bit too open and getting a little bit too much launch angle for it to recover that much.
Hey, easy spare to chop there. He converts it, but that's no gimme right there.
Yeah, I hate shooting at that. Anything that approximates the bucket going cross lane or even down lane on a flat pattern like this. There's so many ways to slice and dice that. I think one of the hard things is that we went through lanes as we went from the round of 8 to round of 4 that were burning out. You had to make adjustments for those, and now we get back to a fresher pair. Sometimes it's hard to reset to where you were.
All right, spare in the 8th. TJ now stepping up on the left lane in the 6th frame. Oh, just enough to trip out the 10.
Just enough. It's interesting to see how differently the two are playing the lanes.
Be interesting to ask the players what they're seeing. What with TJ throwing 2 different balls, what is the ball actually? The difference between, obviously, there's a lot of things. There's the surface, the core, the where the pin is on the ball, where it's going to read the lanes. Interesting to see what the difference between the two
is. It's so
would
critical
be.
now the way the ball is laid out in terms of how quickly it picks up the roll and how sharp it moves, whether it's a smoother reaction or more angular.
And JR right through the face, lucky to leave no split. He just leaves the 6, 9, 10.
You can see how short that slide was. I mean, he hit that landing real short. And anytime you don't have a smooth transition in the slide, it's really hard to finish the shot because the body's off balance.
He converts the spare, and something to note too is TJ is on RotoGrip staff, so he gets a lot of free stuff from RotoGrip for support for his bowling. But this guy behind us here, where we're set up shop at, is Scott Savage, and he lays out and drills up a lot of his stuff. So. It's not only the equipment, but it's also the guy putting the holes in it too as well.
Right. You have to have. There's so much, almost like physics in the game now, to understand how to very subtle manipulations of ball reaction. And you can have you can be the best bowler in the world, but if you don't have the right ball reaction for the lane conditions, you're going to fight all day long. And conversely, if you have a really great ball reaction, you can get away with a little bit. You don't have to throw the ball lights out every time because the ball movement will give you a little bit of room at the pocket even on tough lane conditions.
All right, J.R. Raymond trying to convert the 3, 6, 10, and he chops the 3-pin off the 610 for an open in the 7th. And that little creaking sound you hear is the door opening.
Right.
Just a little bit for TJ here with a strike in the 6th. He can double and take a decent 20-pin lead.
Yeah, two that came up real light. We've got a 7 count and 8 count made the spirits, and the next one was a little bit better, but still sort of a light swishing shot. If this one can square up and be a little bit more solid, I think he can start believing that he's got a look coming to him.
This would give him a 21-pin lead in the match, and he gets a great shot.
Well, what did I just say? If he could get one that would square up, and he would have a little bit of confidence now. So he's made some really subtle adjustments on the lane to slowly but surely get that ball to square up. Especially, he had that Brooklyn strike, and he made an adjustment, missed way right. Next one wasn't quite so right. Next one was a little light. Now he's solid. So he's making very, very subtle but intelligent moves with ball reaction and exactly where he's getting that ball to read the break point.
All right, TJ stepping up in the 8th frame, double. He can take a 31-pin lead here with a strike. Oh, and he gets a great shot there. So TJ takes the 31-pin lead in the 8th frame, and now with JR opening in the 7th, his back is against the wall. He's got a strike.
Well, there's been an old expression around the game for a long time. The pins will tell you if your swing is loose. And now TJ's swing is loose, and now he's getting that wall shot.
It's amazing that one open frame really loosens the swing up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, once you just believe, you can take a lot of muscle tension out of the shot. Oh, that's a terrible break.
What a terrible break for J.R. Raymond. Leaves a pocket 4-9 in the 8th. As he flings a towel, and he's frustrated, I'm sure.
Well,
and has the right to be.
He threw a couple of shots that were a little bit off, then he chopped a makeable spare. And then to come back with such a good shot and leave a pocket 4-9. You have a right to be disappointed,
But here's the deal. Okay, so he's got back-to-back opens. He's down probably 50 pins. But it's a best 2 out of 3. That's not total pins. You regroup, make some good shots, finish this game out strong, and then you have the next game to start all over.
Well, that's the whole idea. When you know you're going to lose a match, why not experiment? Maybe try a different ball, maybe try a different part of the lane, and see if you can set yourself up to come back and push this match to a third game.
And then he comes back and leaves a 9. He's got to be thinking, no, are the bowling gods against me right now? That's what you're thinking internally.
Yeah, because.
But again, you have to think there's still, in my mind, 2 games left. If I can win both of those, I'm the winner.
Well, the other thing is that he made 2 great shots. I mean, he's not carrying right now, but he made 2 good. So physically, he just threw the ball really well. So you got to believe that eventually, if you keep on making quality shots, the pinfall will come your direction.
Absolutely. It's not like he went big 4 and then big washout.
Right. Yeah. It's not like he's all over the place.
Right. That was 2 good shots that could have carried. And obviously, in his mind, though, if they do carry, it's a different match. But nonetheless, it's not like you're saying he's lost by any stretch. Here's TJ in the 9th frame working on a 3-bagger.
Yeah.
Leading big in game 1 of the championship match. Best 2 out of 3 here.
Whoops. He got away with it.
Ripped the rack. He's getting some length, as we would say. That ball is really getting through the heads clean.
But TJ's he's made a couple of different ball, changes over these last couple of matches. And instead of this level of the game, the players really have to understand their arsenal and when to move.
Oh, and he comes right back in the first ball in the 10th, and he's going to win game 1, but he's going to win it convincingly. And what is J.R. Raymond thinking? Okay, I leave a 4-9 and a solid 9 back-to-back, and my opponent here has a chance to shoot 260. What's going through your mind?
At this point, I'm saying I'm going to make a move on the lane. I got to find a part of the lane that can allow me to strike the way TJ is striking. Because right now, if TJ's throwing the ball that well, with that good a look, with that kind of confidence, if I don't start throwing strikes, in my mind, I'm like, I might as well try something. Because what I'm doing right now is not going to work for him.
Well, let's talk about what's at stake here, Doug. Not only is it the beautiful Crystal Championship Trophy, courtesy of Awards Unlimited, here in Lafayette, but we also have a free entry to next year. But you have the claim of the title and the $1,500.
It's a nice paycheck for a weekend's worth of bowling. And and what it comes down to, like you said, it's not always just the money. It's about bowling for pride. It's about saying that I'm going to make this trip. He doesn't live in this area. He's making quite a trip. So, obviously it means something to him to come this far.
Well,
So he
that
made a
one,
move.
he tried something there, and um, he did something there that I'm kind of surprised by. He went the opposite direction that TJ is playing.
Yeah, and one of the things about a very flat shot, very few people play outside. So what happens is that's absolutely fresh. And unless you nut the shot, I mean, just absolutely throw it perfect, I think it's really hard to make that move way out there. There were, in the years past in the Lafayette Open, we had lane conditions where you could move way out and have a chance to score. But on the very flat patterns, depending on how the lanes break down, there's an out of balance out there. Just a natural, because very few people play there, and you almost are forced to play where the lanes have broken down ahead of time. And so you got to, as the environment changes, you got to adjust to the environment. And I'm not sure if the move outside will actually pay off.
All right, TJ Schmidt wins game one, 263 to 179 over J.R. Raymond. And now that will start game two. TJ on the left lane, and he starts the match with a strike, and he looks really good right now.
Right, he's got that light hit carrying, and he's got just enough roll at the back end to trip the 10 or get something off the wall to trip the light 4. And he's got just enough room, I think, to really put the pressure on Raymond.
Okay, if you're just tuning in, this is the final match of the 2013 Ebonite Lafayette Open between TJ Schmidt from Osceola, Indiana, and J.R. Raymond from Bay City, Michigan. And J.R. just throws a nice strike there to start his match off. Also, if you're watching and listening, we want to thank you for doing so. And you're watching it on savagebowling.com. So we thank you for tuning in with us this weekend. And want to thank Scott Savage, who is hosting the live stream on savagebowling.com, and really want to send another big thanks to Chad Lester, who's really spent a lot of time here over the weekend and to help me make this live stream possible. So I really want to thank Chad Lester for that too as well. And we hope you are enjoying the broadcast. And J.R. Raymond, they're starting off match number 2 just like he did match number 1 with a double.
Right. Completely different role compared to TJ. Completely different part of the lane. I think, but both players are going to fall back on their A game.
I just kind of kicked Chad in the foot here to catch his attention. There's a TV screen right to the right of as TJ comes up with the 4 or 6, 7, 10 split. But there's a TV screen right next to the scoring monitors, and they're playing the Eagles Detroit game, and there must be about 8 inches of snow on the field. And
I'm happy I chose an indoor sport. I love to play tennis and golf in the summer, but when it gets that cold, I'm moving indoors.
Well, the first big error from TJ in the match is second frame of game 2 with the 6, 7, 10 split. So he opens the second. So now what's going on here mentally is JR thinking, all right, here we go.
Yeah, he thinks that, I think he's playing a tougher part of the lane.
Is that the door going
creaking maybe maybe open up the other way in his direction. I didn't quite catch TJ's release at the bottom to see why he missed as inside as he did. That's a pretty good shot.
Good call, Doug, because it was 10 in the pit.
There's a certain TJ. I'm sorry, but there's a certain look to TJ when you watch his swing drop inside, and he gets that clean inside-out movement. He usually throws a lot of quality shots when he has that look.
And it's important for TJ to totally forget about frame 2.
Oh, yeah.
Say, okay, I can't do nothing about it. Yeah. It's time to move on.
Well, like I said, you have to accept the fact that you're going to make an occasional bad shot. Nobody's going to shoot 300. That's the way it goes.
Ooh, and right there, JR in the third, leaving really one of the most difficult splits, the 2-8-10.
Right, almost impossible.
You're going to have to kick something out from the
See,
back
the
to
thing
make
is,
this.
the way JR is playing the lane is he's playing on the edge of the out of bounds. So he's trying to give himself room to get a read to the left. But if he misses to the right, there's just this little hang spot. And he's really said if you throw the ball really well, he's got to look there.
But like you were saying earlier in the semifinal round and parts of the round of 8 is bowlers have a tendency, like you said against Vinny when you bowled in this years ago, you go to your A game. And I have a feeling that playing straighter is JR's A game.
Well, yeah, I mean, take a look at his arm swing. His arm swing tucks in early and moves out. So he has an outside in arm swing, which naturally makes you want to play a pull shot more down in. TJ, on the other hand, opens the shoulders up. He has an inside out, which naturally allows him to project the ball, what we call have a launch angle. So players like TJ like to move in, and players like JR will want to play a little bit straighter. And it's a matter of who's going to play their A game better. And we have a couple opens here early, but obviously TJ had a decisive win the very first game.
Well, and TJ's thinking, okay, I can take command of this match here with a strike in the 4th, which would give him a double. So I'm sure that's what he's thinking here as he steps up on the right lane in the 4th. Oh, and he just throws an absolutely gorgeous shot.
Right, he just launched it. Said it's not snapping a lot. He's playing a pretty tight line, but he's got a great roll on it. And with that kind of roll, yeah, you can play high flush and just carry all day long.
Well, here we go now in the 5th frame on the left lane for TJ. He's got a double working. He has actually come back to take a 15-pin lead. He can make it 25 with the strike here in the 5th.
They had offsetting opens, but TJ's double now has given him that advantage. Will it hold? Yes, it did.
Ooh, wow.
Wow, that was just gorgeous. You can't, 10 in the pit, you can't throw the ball better than that.
It's really the best he's looked today. He bowled real well in the round of 16.
Yeah,
in the round of 8, he just kind of fought off EJ,
right.
Tackett, but then didn't do much against Ted Rosenquist. But now this is about as good as he's looked all day.
Well, he's very solid at the line. I mean, he just sticks the landing, and that allows the swing to get tremendous leverage at the bottom. And that's not going to work.
And what they call the PBA washout, the 5 count. And, you know, I'm like you. Obviously, we're not going through what the bowlers are, but I'm curious to see why he hasn't at least attempted to step in. And if not only try to find something that TJ has.
Great cover.
Covers the spare, great cover. But just maybe to mess up a little gamesmanship, maybe mess up his line a little bit. But he hasn't even attempted to go in. Yeah, it's
what we call shipwrecking a line, where you step in and you play off of somebody else's line, which makes the line break down faster, which forces your opponent to move faster.
Well, let's reset what's going on here. TJ Schmidt with the last 3, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. JR with a spare in the 5th, trailing in this match. He's down 1-0. He has to win to force a game 3.
Will that come back? Oh, there you go.
Nice shot there from JR. I'm impressed, though. He has fought. He says, I'm going to make this work somehow. And the problem is, like you're saying, though, you might get a couple of good shots, but it's just a hair miss and you're in big trouble.
Well, I said we're coming down to the last couple of frames, and he's committed to a certain game plan, and he's committed to his to his confidence in his abilities. That if he throws the ball well, the shot is there. He believes he's going to make that good shot.
Here's TJ in the 6th, working on a 3-bagger, comes up high and lucky just to leave the 3-pin.
Yeah, he's got out of trouble that time. Just a little fast and loose, not quite as solid at the line as his last couple of shots, and he could have gotten away with this, or could have gotten a split, but he got away with a very makeable spare now.
Well, with the spare in the 6th, they'll have 107 in the 5th. That'd be a 19-pin lead. Oof, that's close.
He didn't want to hurt it. Yeah.
Well, he converts the spare, so he's got a 19-pin lead going into the 7th, but J.R. Raymond with a strike in the 6th still has a chance. And oof, well, I'm looking at that weather at Philadelphia, and I'm glad that's out there and
Well,
not
my
over here.
my daughter lives down in Newburgh near Evansville, and they had to drive through the Vincennes area. They had 10 inches of snow even in our state, and we had absolutely nothing in the Lafayette area. We just now get a slight smattering of snow.
Here's TJ in the 7th.
Ooh,
Good
pretty
pitch
close.
there. Left a 4-pin. That's all right. I'm sure he's thinking, okay, you know.
You should be thinking that physically that was a much better shot than the last one.
Well,
And,
here's a
and you still got
situation.
to look. That still hit the
Right.
pocket.
And here's a situation, Doug. If he keeps filling frames, he's forcing JR to strike.
Yes.
Spares aren't going to win for JR right now unless TJ just falls apart.
Right, unless TJ makes a big mistake. So.
But the way TJ's bowling right now, Doug, I don't expect to see that.
Right, so that means JR has got to, well, make the shot that he needs to make to play the game plan, the lanes that he wants to play. I said when he throws it really well, the shot's there for him.
Here's JR needing a strike here in the 7th. Well, he comes up high and leaves the 3-pin himself. With the spare conversion, he's going to trail by 18. With just, and he's down 18, but he's running out of frames.
Right, we're down. Yeah, we only got 8th, 9th, 10th. That's it. And he needs a double to close the gap. He needs a 3-bagger to put any kind. He needs 3 in a row right now. 8th, 9th, and 10th to put real pressure on TJ. Way out there.
Well, yeah, he missed that way right.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, we say he missed way right. He was actually only about 3 boards. and on a house shot, and that's
That
a lot
would
of
have
people.
come back and
Oh,
struck.
that would come back and been dead flush.
That's the difference between what you bowl on
Right.
in your league and what you're bowling on in tournaments. All right, spare conversion for JR. Converts the 1-2-4. Well, here we go into the 8th frame for TJ. He has right now a 20-pin lead, roughly. If he strikes here in the 8th, he'll lead by 21 pins. Here he is on the right lane, looking for his first title.
A lot of short.
Well, and he got a break.
Yeah.
He knows it. That's part of it. As a bowler, as a competitor, when that happens against you, there's not much you can do about it.
Right. Yeah, it's frustrating, but I've always told my high school players, you can't put yourself in a situation where a bad break on your part or a good break on your opponent's part is the difference in the match. You've got to throw shots that put yourself in control of the match. And if you're not in control of the match, then Lady Luck is going to be a determinant.
Well, here's really the match right now.
Oh,
if
yeah.
he strikes in the 9th,
It's
you're
done.
probably looking at your 2013 champion. Here he is, TJ on the left lane, looking for a double. Oh.
Well, he couldn't throw a better ball.
And
we've seen that all day long, where if somebody gets a good break, they come back with a great shot and take advantage of it.
And it was. And when we're done here with the bowling, we'll try to get a chance to talk to the winner. I'll try to get an interview with TJ before we sign off the air. Or JR, whoever does win. JR, I'm not going to write JR off yet at all whatsoever. Here he is in the 9th frame, right lane. And he leaves a light 8-10, and that pretty well
Yeah, this is an impossible spare to make. This is a 1 in 1,000 type of spare. And it wasn't a terrible shot. He just got a bad bounce off the wall.
And JR will open in the 9th frame, unfortunately for him, and he'll have 152 in the 9th. TJ already looking at a 180 score.
Right.
Max score for JR is 182.
Yeah,
TJ's already at 186. So
right. Any kind of good pin count by the time you double it up, it's going to be in the 190s. Yeah. Even if he goes 9 miss.
You can bet TJ's next ball is going to go right down the middle.
Oh yeah, he's just going to keep it placed, maximize pin count, doesn't care whether he strikes. Oh, now.
And your champion for the 2013 Ebonite Lafayette Open is going to be TJ Schmidt from Osceola, Indiana. We'll take a short little break here as TJ finishes up. We'll try to make sure we get the interview with TJ, and we'll hand TJ his $1,500 first prize and the Crystal Trophy. And I'm sure that TJ's probably having a big sense of relief right now.
Well, I said after so many years of trying and never even making the cut, and now he marches all the way up the field, all the way to a champion.
Well, he told me, he came up to me in between rounds after the first and second round. He said, "Hey, this is the." I said, "Hey, you made it to the, Sweet 16," and he said, "I've never made it past the first round before." So
Right.
here he goes from not making it past the first round to winning it all. So we're going to thank Doug here for commentating for us today, and
Always a privilege to jump in.
we'll try to get TJ over here. We'll give TJ your headset. We'll have a quick interview with your champion here. Well, TJ, you know what it is, never making it past the first round, and here you are, winner of the 2013 Ebonite Lafayette Open. How you feel?
Feel pretty good. Yeah, it was a struggle all day. I mean, the game plan is always stay clean, fill frames, and was lucky enough to do that. I got kind of lucky through that first round, won with a 168 game. So I kind of took that momentum in and found a good look where my miss left was Brooklyn and carried, and my miss right was 2-pin. So I kind of just stayed out of trouble all day.
In that final match, I noticed you were throwing two different balls, one on the left lane, one on the right.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between the two, and what were you seeing on the lanes that dictated that kind of play for you?
Well, I was having trouble most of the day on the right lane getting the ball down lane. So on that right lane, I wanted something had a little bit more polish on it, would get down the lane, and I felt that the Scream did that for me. Then partway through that first game, I decided to kind of come up the back of it more, move a little right, and just not give the pocket away. And that was my game plan for the rest of the finals.
Well, I know mentally, as a competitor myself, you get to that point where the last few frames seemed, when you feel like you have the momentum in your court, the last few frames seem to drag on forever. The condition is demanding. It's a long format. Physically, you're tired.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got the pressure of trying to win as well on top of your shoulder. But congratulations on the victory, and you go from never getting out of the first round to now you're the winner. So with that, with the prize money and the trophy, but you'll get that entry into next year's event, and we look forward to having you back in 2014.
Thank you very much.
All right, congratulations. Our winner, TJ Schmidt from Osceola, Indiana. We'll get him the prize money and his trophy, and we want to thank those listening and watching on SavageBowling.com live streaming. We also want to thank our sponsors, Ebonite, SavageBowling.com, Awards Unlimited, Towers Corner, Citgo, Dexter Shoes, Anderson Furniture Gallery, Wings, etc., McCarty Motors, and C Squared Flooring. Once again, thank you for watching and listening on SavageBowling.com. You can come back and listen to it again if you have nothing else to do for maybe an evening or two. But the 16th edition of the Ebonite Lafayette Open has wrapped up and concluded. Your winner once again, TJ Schmidt, defeating J.R. Raymond from Bay City, Michigan, 2-0. Thanks for everyone for watching and listening, and we'll see you in 2014. So long, everybody.